This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. 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 Audible? Darshan? DP?
Yes,
Is it?
sir.
Yeah? Am I audible? No? And the screen is visible, no?
Sir.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Let's move ahead. Okay. Let's move ahead. The topic that we are trying to continue yesterday. Okay. I've created one tutorial for you all so that you can easily see. Here is the tutorial. I've opened this tutorial. Okay. So feature engineering, how to detect and remove outliers. This was the question actually. Means first of all, how to treat the outliers basically. How to treat the outliers. Okay, how to treat the outliers. The anomaly. How to treat the outliers. Just have a look what I've written in the article. It excludes the outlier value from our analysis. Yesterday I told what is outlier. Isn't it? I hope I told yesterday what is outlier basically. An outlier in a data item, what it is basically, what it is. An outlier is a data item, okay, that deviates from the rest of the so-called normal objects, right? That deviates from or deviates significantly from the so-called normal objects. So they are basically the execution errors. And the analysis of this outlier detection is referred to as outlier mining. There are lots of ways to detect the outliers, and there are lots of removable processes also, removable process in the data. Okay, lots of ways are also there. Here I have written, first of all, how to treat the outliers. The first one is streaming the outliers. Means it excludes the outlier value from our analysis. Streaming, mane kaat ke nikal do. By applying this technique, our data becomes thin when there is more outlier present in the data set. The main advantage is the fastest nature. The fastest nature. This is actually the fastest process. The second one is actually called capping. Capping. What is capping? In this technique, we actually cap our outlier data. We cap our outlier data and make the limit. That is, above the particular value or less than that value, all the values will be considered as outliers. Means we are providing a threshold. We are providing a threshold. Getting the point? We are providing a threshold. Threshold value we are providing. Threshold of margin we are providing. Means our value will lie between this range till this range, and all the other values will be considered as outlier. Okay, and the number of outliers in the data set gives that capping number. For example, if you are working for an income feature, you might find that people above a certain income level behaves in the same way as those with the lower income. Okay, in this case, you can cap the income value at a level that keeps that intact and accordingly treat the outliers. Getting the point? Is this part clear to everyone? And the next one is treat outliers as a missing value. So by assuming outliers as a missing observation, we have to treat them accordingly. That is same as those of missing values. And I told you basically how to deal with missing values. So these are basically how to treat the outliers. Means how to basically think of that. अगर एक outlier आता है तो हम लोग उसको किस तरीके से treat करते हैं basically. ठीक है, हम लोग कैसे तैयार रहते हैं उससे फाइट करने के लिए. लाइक बॉडी में क्या होता है, कोई भी बैक्टीरिया वगैरह आ जाता है तो डब्ल्यूबीसी क्या करता है, उसको ऐसा फॉरेन पार्टिकल ट्रीट करता है, रेडी हो जाता है ना, राइट. तो सिमिलरली हियर आल्सो वी आर रेडी फॉर दिस outliers. Okay, now how to detect outlier. For normal distribution, use empirical relation of normal distribution, and the data points which fall, the data points I told you yesterday that have a look at this quartile range and interquartile range. Okay, for normal distribution, use empirical relations for normal distribution. The data point which falls below mean minus 3 multiplied by sigma or above mean plus 3 multiplied sigma are outliers basically. Okay, are the outliers. Here mean and sigma are the average value obviously, and standard deviation of a particular column. So here mean is basically the average we know, and the sigma is the standard deviation of that particular column. Getting the point? And starting from minus 3 sigma to till plus 3 sigma, the whole value is basically called the Z score. It is called the Z score. Okay, it is called the Z score. Getting the point? It is called the Z score. Just try to have a look. Darshan, any problem, Darshan? No problem, na? I have tried to explain this to my best simplicity. Okay, Rohit is there, na? Rohit, Akash, Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Getting the point, Rohit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is basically the thing. Now, for skewed distribution, have a look. For skewed distribution, use interquartile range proximity rule. So we know this interquartile range and all these things. So the data points which falls below Q1 minus 1.5 interquartile range or above Q3 plus 1.5 interquartile range are actually outliers. See, there it is mentioned. No, you have to look at this particular thing. Or even if you remember the formula, na, that is enough. If you remember this formula, that is enough. Not enough, more than enough it is. See, just have a look. Now we will be able to view this clearly or correctly. Skewed distribution, we are using interquartile range proximity rules. So the data points which falls below Q1 minus 1.5 interquartile range or above Q3 plus 1.5 interquartile range are outliers. And you might be wondering, sir, what are these Q1 and Q3? See, Q1 is, we know, 25%, Q2 is 50%, Q3 is 75%, Q4 is 100% of the data set respectively. Okay, so if we want to find out interquartile range, then we simply do what? We subtract Q3 minus Q1 and we get the interquartile range to detect the outliers. Okay, getting the point? Getting the point? Just take your time. Take your time. No need to worry. Take your time. If you face any problem, I'm still there. Don't worry. Take your time. Interquartile range, if you want any description on interquartile range, you just tell me. I will explain right now interquartile range, because this is basically a part where most of us might get confused, because we did all this long term ago. We did all this long term ago we did. So if you want to explain that, tell me that, sir, please explain interquartile range. I will explain that also. Have a look. If you feel that still you are facing a problem, if you feel that still you are facing a problem, okay, no problem, na? Is there anybody who is facing problem with interquartile range and all these things? Clear, na? Clear. Yeah, Darshan is telling, sir, it's clear. Yeah, so say, see, Darshan, I will move to the code. Okay, I will move to the code. But before that, I have one, what to say? I would like to say few words about interquartile range. Can I? Few words about interquartile range. Okay. So suppose I have taken one example. See, here I took one example. Just try to understand this concept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total. Just have a look. Just have a look. Here is the data set basically. Here is the data set. Okay, here is the data set. So in order to create quartiles or percentiles, we need to sort the data in ascending order and find the Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Okay, means we have to divide the data set into 4 equal parts after sorting. After sorting, we need to divide the data set into 4 equal parts, right? So the middle value, as you can see, of the sorted data will be called as the median, or we can say it's Q2. It's Q2, or the 50th part, or the 50th percentile. It is called the median or the 50th percentile, as you can see on the screen, right? Now let us create our first data set. Let us create our first data set. So if you want, you can create your own also, or if you don't want to create, just have a look at my data set that I have given -2, 8, 13, 19, 34. Okay, first and third quartile. So what is the interquartile over here? Interquartile formula, what I told, it will be Q3 minus Q1. So 64 is the Q3 and 19 is the Q1, and ultimately we are getting 45. So 45 is the IQ1, interquartile range. 45 is the IQ1. Okay, so for finding out the outlier using IQR, we have to define a multiplier which is 1. Actually 5. I told na 1.5. 1.5. Okay, we have to define a multiplier which is ideally 1.5. Okay, that will decide how far below Q1 and above Q3 will be considered as the outlier. Will be considered as the outlier. So what was the formula? The formula for Q1 was basically what? Any value below Q1 minus 1.5 multiplied by IQR or above Q3 plus 1.5 multiplied by IQR will be considered as an outlier. So if we just put that value into the formula, so we find out what is IQR. IQR is 45. Okay, so the first one for Q1 it will be 19 minus 1.5 multiplied by 45 equal to minus 48.5. And for Q3 it will be 64 plus 1.5 multiplied by 45, it will be 131.5. So we can see we don't have minus 48.5 in our data set. Nothing is below minus 2, but there is a value called 131. So we have to remove the last value, that is 1456 from the data set. We have to remove 1456 from the data set, which is considered greater than 131.5. Okay, which is considered greater than 131.5. Getting the point? 131.5. That's it. Now 1456 will be removed. That is actually an outlier. That is basically an outlier. Now tell me, after going through this simple example, now is it clear? Now is it clear? Now is it clear? No? It is perfectly clear. Okay, so it is perfectly 100% clear to you. Okay, very good. So this was all about the outlier. Now we can see the outlier in our data set through box plot also. We can see the data set outlier in our data set through scatter plot also. That also we can do. Okay, that also we can do basically. Whatever we feel like we can basically do with this these types of basically. Okay, getting the point. Now this is basically the concept. About interquartile range. Now there are several ways to remove the outlier, to detect and remove the outlier, and the two most top methods are, that is I told right now, IQR, interquartile range, and the previous one, that is the Z-score. That is the Z-score. Okay, that is the Z-score. Getting the point? Okay, that is the Z-score. So suppose if I have a data set, if I make a data set, suppose I'm making a simple data set. Today I'm not taking any very big data set. I'm not taking. Okay, I'm not taking basically. Right? I'm trying to explain the whole thing in a very simpler way. I'm going to calculate the first quartile, okay, and the third quartile. Means I'm going to use the Z score, and I'm going to use the basically the interquartile. Okay, interquartile. So I already have a very small data set. I'm not going to take a very big data set. Okay, I already have a small data set. Just have a look here. I have just found it out on Kaggle. Okay, I just bookmarked it. So this is basically the data set, but how I will download this data?
Sir, go to file. Sir, in the above, go to file. Sir,
Where?
in the right side, sir, right side. Yes.
Okay.
Go to file,
Go to
sir.
file.
Yes.
Go to file.
And sir, there is a data set.
Go to file. Where is the download?
স্যার একেবারে ওইদিকে চলে যান না স্যার, যেখান থেকে বাইক রেন্টাল কাউন্টের উপর ক্লিক করুন স্যার।
ক্লিক করলাম।
ইয়েস স্যার, ওই যে ওখানে কোড আছে স্যার, কোড স্যার, কোডের উপর ক্লিক করুন। ওখানে আই থিংক, ইয়েস স্যার, আই থিংক এখানেই থাকবে।
ওকে, let me download this. So, very small data set. Let us download this. In the downloads, bike rental. I will extract it over here. Bike rental. See, oh my god, it has got very nice data set, very what to say, lots of data set. Okay, so I will take this first one, this bike. Temperature, humidity, wind speed, count, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, then year, then month, lots of data set is here. Okay, getting the point. But excellent data set I got. I don't require anything else. Okay, what I will do, I will simply go to this part. I will just close this. I will upload the data set first. Let me upload the data set. From this download, bike rental, I will upload this bike data set. Upload this. Okay, I will go to new Python. GIS class, it's 9, na? 9. GIS class. Okay, got it. So I will import pandas, I will import numpy, right? I will import pandas, I will import numpy, and I will also import excellent. Run this. Got it. My data set is ready. It has got 5 rows and 27 columns are there. Okay, 717 rows and 27 columns are there in the data set, as you can see on the screen. Okay. What are the numerical columns? What are the numerical columns? The numerical columns, I think, temperature, humidity, and wind speed, right? Temperature, humidity, and wind speed. These are the numerical columns, isn't it? So I will do one thing: temperature, humidity, and wind speed. Temperature, humidity, and wind speed. And categorical, rest all the columns I will take into categorical column. Rest all are categorical, na? Rest all the categorical column. Sorry. Okay, chalo. Okay. So here we have the numerical column, and next I have taken a categorical column. Now we are going to apply box plot. Box plot. Okay, box plot. It's very simple. It's very simple to apply box plot. Copy this, paste it over here, run this. You can see the box plot. Can you see some outliers are there just above the wind speed? Can you see outliers are there just above the wind speed? Just above the variable wind speed, it contains outliers which lie above the lower boundary, isn't it? It lies above the lower boundary. See, some outliers are there in the wind speed. Some circle, a circle is there. Can everybody see that? Circle, a small circle type dot is there. Can everybody see that? Yes. Now, what we have to do? Yeah, I showed you, or I told you just now about interquartile range. Interquartile range. So we have to apply interquartile range. That means there are some steps to calculate interquartile range. So what I said, first of all, we have to calculate the first and the third quartile, Q1 and Q3. Then we have to evaluate the interquartile range, means Q3 minus Q1. Then we have to estimate the lower boundary. What is lower boundary? Q1 multiplied by 1.5. And then we have to estimate the upper boundary. What is upper boundary? Q3 multiplied by 1.5. Okay. And then we have to replace the data points that lie outside the lower boundary and the upper boundary with null value. Done. Yes or no? Yes or no? Tell me. I have written the whole thing in our notepad. Okay, let me open this notepad, because I just tried to make everything clear. See, so that outlier detection doesn't become a hectic task, so that everybody can understand at least. मैंने जब बोला था कि 100% क्लियर कर दूंगा तो 100% क्लियर कर दूंगा. देखिए ये स्टेप्स था, तो थोड़ा सा देख लीजिए आप लोग, यही स्टेप्स करना होगा ना. For finding the Q1, Q3, we have to go for these steps, right? Okay, now what we have to do, we have to use numpy dot percentile methods in order to calculate Q1 and Q3. Okay, we have to calculate the Q1 and Q3 using numpy dot percentile method. Okay, and we have to replace the outliers with numpy dot nn. And we have to replace the outliers with numpy.nn as the null values. Okay, numpy.nn with the null values. Right, this is basically our task. This is basically our task. Okay. For x in, wind speed, na? Wind speed. Okay. Now, if I take Q75 and if I take Q25 for the first, so np dot percentile data dot log, take all the rows and x. Comma 75 and 25. Okay, getting the point. So basically, and what is interquartile? I will separate this, or I will subtract this Q75 minus Q25. Okay, then I have to find max Q75 plus 1.5 multiplied by INTR underscore QR, mean Q25 minus 1.5 multiplied by then mean
एक
NP
क्वेश्चन है
dot. हाँ बोलिए
सर Q75 कॉमा Q25 इक्वल्स टू नहीं होगा np डॉट परसेंटाइल और कॉमा होगा.
कहाँ पर बोलिए, हमको एक बार बताइए
सर सेकंड लाइन में Q75
हाँ?
कॉमा Q25 इक्वल्स टू np डॉट परसेंटाइल होगा.
yes ठीक वेरी गुड. मेरा मिस्टेक था, इट वाज माय मिस्टेक. मैक्स कॉमा एक्स अप्लाई तो कर रहे हैं nn वैल्यूज के लिए, रन कराते हैं भाई। np इज नॉट डिफाइंड, np import pandas as pd अरे क्या बोल रहा है? अब इसी में टाइम जो हमारा जाएगा जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी हमको देखने दीजिए। फॉर x इन विंड स्पीड डेटा डॉट विंड स्पीड। अच्छा रुकिए, यहाँ पर डेटा का हमारा जरूरत नहीं है। क्या काम करेगा? काम करेंगे। यहाँ विंड एक पर्टिकुलर कॉलम है ना, वी डोंट रिक्वायर। सी इट्स वर्किंग परफेक्टली। So we can see that I have used numpy dot percentile. From numpy I have used the percentile method to calculate the q1 and q3, and I have replaced the outlier with np.nan as null values. Now having replaced the outlier with nan, we have to check the sum of all the null values or missing values using the what function? Is null function. So data dot is null dot sum. See, so humidity wind speed में 714 null values है। देखिए 714 714 null values है। ओके ह्यूमिडिटी में, सॉरी विंड स्पीड में, विंड स्पीड। Now we can use any of the method to treat the null values. Remember, mean, median. I have told you how to impute the missing values with mean, how to impute the missing values with median. Remember, if we
Yes,
find
sir.
some missing values,
Yes,
remember
sir.
how to impute with median, how to impute with mean. Okay, so here what shall we do? We will actually replace the value with, or replace the missing value with
The mean.
mean, right? Missing value with mean. Very good. We will replace the missing value with mean. So what is the code? What code shall we write?
Sir,
Just
fill
a
any data.
हाँ बोलिए।
Fill any data wind speed dot mean करके.
Okay. We have to fill the NaN with, we have to fill that NaN column, but we have to give the column name, right? We have to give the column name, isn't it? We have to give the column name basically. Otherwise, if we don't give the column name, so which column it is going to fill? We are not going to means basically do what we are going to fill for a particular column. Na? Rest whatever it is doing, let it do. Other columns, let it be as it is. But here we are having a lot of values like the 714 missing values. So how to compute this? See, actually from data I am having this wind speed, na? Wind speed. So from data I am having this wind speed. Fill in a mean in place equal to true, right? Run this. Now if I again run this code, I think the width split problem is solved, right? Just have a look. The problem is solved. Okay, no null values, no null values, no null values. Let's go for this box plot. Remove. Since we have filled it with missing values, since we have filled it with mean, but what does it tell? There are total 714 missing values. So just have a look. You will not get nothing. So no null values. So this was one way to do so. This was one way to do. Getting the point? Just have a look at this. So that's it. Now I had one old example. I have one old example. Okay. So if you want, I can show you that example basically. Basically, I can show you that example. That example I did long before. Okay. I did that example long before basically. Right. Long before I did. It was a very simple example, not that tough. Okay. I did that example using Z-score. Okay. I did that example using Z-score. So let me just open the example. Okay, let me open the example. I'm showing you. Anomaly detection. Anomaly detection. Okay, I'd already opened it. Here I have created one data frame of my own. See, this is my data frame. If you want, you can basically do one thing. Anomaly detection. So here just have a look what I did. I have created my own data frame. You can take any of the data set according to your choice. That doesn't mean you have to take this data set only. See, here I have done what? Here I have created one. I have used Z-score. Z-score. Okay. Z-score is actually calculated by subtracting each value with the mean of data and dividing it by standard deviation. Standard deviation means Z-score is actually calculated by subtracting each value with the mean of data and dividing it by standard deviation. I'm writing over here. Z-score is calculated by subtracting each value with mean and dividing it with standard deviation. Okay. And dividing it with standard deviation. Dividing it with standard deviation. So Z-score is calculated by subtracting each value with the mean of the data and dividing it by standard deviation. dividing it by standard deviation. So first of all, I have done what? I have created one data frame, and after creating the data frame, I have created one more column called Z score, and from SciPy import stats is the name of the package. SciPy is for scientific Python, like NumPy numerical Python. Similarly, SciPy is scientific Python. Okay, SciPy scientific Python. Getting the point? SciPy scientific Python. Okay. Now this is basically what I have done. I have called the method called Z score, inside which I have passed the data frame, means the column, and see, it is giving me the data also, and against the data it is giving me the Z score also. See, against the data it is giving me the Z score also. See, it is giving me the Z score. Okay, it is giving me the Z score. Okay, so these are the respective Z scores for each of these values, and you can see that almost all of them have a negative value except few, one or two. Okay, which clearly indicates that most of these values lies on the left hand of the mean. Lies on the left hand of the mean, na? Number line. If you consider the number line, then this negative value basically lies where? On the number line, left hand side, na? It basically lies on the left hand side of the mean, and they are within the range of mean and standard deviation. They are within the range of mean and standard deviation. Okay.
Sir, why you have done the line number 6 means what is that line number 6?
Line number 6. Line number 6, basically I have compared, see, I have found out the Z score. Okay, I have found out the Z score over here. If I just do one thing, df, okay, see, I'm getting the Z score. So Z score, can you see? Z score, all are negative except the last value. Okay, so here I have filtered out that data. So I have taken till 0.167. See, I have filtered out 3.45. See, 3.45 is not present in the last one. So here I have actually taken the absolute value, and that is less than equal to 3. So here it is 3.45. So I have taken less than 3. Why I have taken less than 3? I will tell you that. You will tell me, sir, why you have eliminated 3? See, from the above data we can see that almost all the values are negative. Okay, that means what? They lie on the left hand of the mean, and they are within the mean and standard deviation. But according to the empirical rule, any absolute value of Z score above 3 is considered as an outlier. Why? Because it is the only positive value that is present in that Z score column. Getting the point? That's why I have filtered out the whole data set on that particular threshold, that all the values are accepted or welcome below 3, and if 3 or above 3 is not welcome. Got it?
Means above 3 or means 3 or above 3 is an outlier.
Yes, it is an outlier. Okay, because see, all the other values are common, na? All the other values are common except this 3. Okay, wait just a second, I'm getting. Okay, so this is basically the thing. That's it.
What is
Okay,
EWM? What is showing EWM alpha? What is that?
This one.
So
When
yes, sir.
yeah, you calculate, yeah, what it is showing alpha 1, alpha 2, something like that. See, whenever you calculate the Z score, na, whenever you calculate the Z score, basically this is totally based on the empirical weight rule. Okay, empirical weight rule. So this is actually related to that. EMW alpha 1, EMW alpha 3, EMW alpha 6, something like that. Okay, but once you get the Z score, we don't need this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, see, I'm not working with this. If I had worked with all these things, then I would have told you that, see, Darshan, this is this and this is that. No, I'm working with Z-score, see, because Z-score is the technique to remove the outliers, not this EMW, empirical weight, empirical, these are not the techniques, okay? So Z-score is based on that. Z-score is based on that. So the value of 0.40, we are getting something like this, okay, somewhere or something it is dependent upon this, right? So Z-score, we are working with Z-score. So I've taken the absolute value and I filtered out all these things, see. I've removed all those rows, all these things, and I've just taken data, actual data, and the Z-score. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now see, EMW alpha 1, I'm replacing it with 1. I'm replacing it with the mean. Similarly, alpha 3 column, I'm replacing it with the mean. And alpha 6 column, I'm replacing it with the mean. See. Okay, just try to understand this concept. I'm replacing it with the mean. Getting the point? Try to understand. Because Z-score tells us how many standard deviation away a value is from the mean, right? How many standard deviation away a value is from the mean, isn't it? Isn't it?
So what is the use of this? Because you have told that this 3 columns are not needed, then why you have written what is alpha 0.1, alpha 0.3 like that?
Yes, I'm telling you a few things. See, after getting the Z-score, okay, the first values as you can see on the screen, okay, these are standard deviation below the mean of its array. These are basically standard deviation below the mean. Okay, as you can see these things, these are standard deviations below the mean. Okay, so it is giving for 1, then it is giving for 3, and then it's giving for 6. That's why I have replaced it. I have filled that values, I replaced that value with the data and EMW 1, 3, 6 and the mean of that particular column. Try to understand. Try to understand the concept. Getting the point? Okay, so we are filling those values with the mean. Okay, we are filling those values with the mean, right? With the mean. Now,
What is EWM?
what is the need? See, these
EWM,
are,
what is EWM? So what is EWM full form like?
yeah, I'm telling you basically. What is EWM basically? I'm telling you. See, I'm just explaining from the first. Try to understand the concept. Here, while removing the outlier, I told you about the interquartile range, and from the interquartile range, I told you about the Z-score. What is Z-score? I told you. Means the important measurement or Z-score tells us how standard deviation below or above or below a number is from the mean of the data set. So any positive Z-score means what? That number of standard deviation above the mean, and a negative Z-score means what? That number of standard deviation below the mean. Okay, that number of standard deviation below the mean. So we have to adjust these peaks, these spikes, these peaks. One is above the mean and one is below the mean, means one is positive, one is negative. So we have to adjust this peak. Okay, that means we are actually trying to smoothen the data. This is called data smoothing. Okay, data smoothing. It is the process of adjusting these peaks. adjusting the mix. So there is a function present in Python for smoothing the data, and this function is called EWM. EWM. Now you will tell me, sir, what is EWM? See, you are always getting EWM underscore alpha underscore 1, EWM underscore alpha underscore 3, EWM underscore alpha underscore 6. This EWM basically represents the exponential weight of moving average. Exponential weighted moving average at different levels. First level 0.1, then level 0.3, then level 0.6. So EWM is the exponential weighted moving average. Exponential weighted moving average. Got the point? Now is it clear? Exponential weighted moving average. Okay, Darshan, right? Getting? So I just need some time to explain the concepts. Okay, some time to explain the concept. Okay, now you will tell, sir, what is alpha over here? Alpha is actually the weight decided by the user itself. Alpha is the weight decided by the user itself. Decided by the user itself. Okay. Or we can see that exponential moving average is actually the weighted average for the recent values. For the recent values. Okay, for the recent values. So recent values are basically our Z score. Okay, no, that's it. Done. Completed. Now you print the DF, that's it done. See. This was the thing, na? So Z score is actually a way to remove the values. You can use any of the ways according to your choice. That doesn't mean that I am telling you please use Z score only, but Z score was one of the way. Interquartile range was one of the way. So interquartile range I basically use, and most of the statistician or the what to say, because it's very easy to calculate. It's very easy to calculate. Here we have to go for data smoothing and all these things. Okay, so outlier can be removed using the interquartile range also. It can be removed using Z score also, and that's it. Getting the point? Hello, no problem, no? Okay, so as simple as that. But I also told you that you might not use these columns. I have showed you the work of this, but you might not use those columns. Okay, yes, you might not use this column because Z score itself is actually showing us, with the help of Z score itself, we can basically see. So here I had the actual data something like this. Now what is the outlier? This is basically the data. Now what is the outlier? I found out the outliers with the help of the Z score. Z score is telling that all the values of Z score are negative except the value of Z score, this one is positive. So I removed that. See, my outlier has been removed. So you will say ना सर that आपने तो बोला था कि इसको लेके काम नहीं करने से ही हुआ. हाँ, नहीं करने से भी होगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मैंने इसको आपको दिखा दिया, आप इसको रख लीजिए. ठीक है, फ्यूचर में काम आ सकता है. ठीक है, अदरवाइज Z score इनफ है आउटलायर्स को रिमूव करने के लिए, एंड हेयर्स द आउटलायर हैज बीन रिमूव्ड. द लास्ट वन वाज आउटलायर, ना दिस वन. रो नंबर 12 वाज द आउटलायर. Row number 12 was the outlier. See, roll number 12 has been thrown out. That's it, done. That's it. Getting the point? Clear हो रहा है यहाँ तक? Hello, any doubt? No problem. Hope so. Darshan, Rohit, any doubts?
No, sir.
No problem. No? Okay. So we are doing an excellent session. We are doing an excellent session. Okay, excellent session we are going to do, and we are doing basically. Almost each and every part is basically clear to us. Okay, means we are not actually what to do. Having any fault on this, right? Each and everything is getting 100% clear now. Okay, I will start the second part. Just a second, wait. Okay, so that's the thing. That's the thing. हाँ, और बोलिए. दर्शन, दर्शन कैसे हैं? बोलिए. हेलो. हाँ, कैसे हैं? बोलिए. ठीक है. अच्छा, रोहित কেমন আছো বলো? आप लोगों के साथ तो इतना इंटरेस्टिंग क्लास हो रहा है.
Sir, hello, sir.
हेलो.
Hello.
Excellent means we are doing basically. We are doing excellent. पर आप
Yes,
ये
sir.
बताइए 4-5 दिन में हम लोगों ने कितना कुछ कंप्लीट किया? कितना कुछ कंप्लीट किया? बोलिए. We complete.
Yes, sir. Basically, sir, from the machine learning basic to we are doing some projects and
Yes, this
some
is
real
applied.
life projects. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we are actually moving towards the advanced part. ये applied है, advanced part है. ठीक है, इसी के ऊपर बेसिकली हम लोगों को काम करना है. ठीक है, इसी के ऊपर तो बेसिकली काम करना है. अच्छा, आपका पहला प्रोजेक्ट मैं दिया था ना, कल करवाया आप लोगों का पहला प्रोजेक्ट. ठीक है, व्हाट वाज द फर्स्ट
Yes, sir.
प्रोजेक्ट?
Yes, sir.
व्हाट वाज द फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट? द फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट वाज बेसिकली কি নাম ছিল?
Sir, Tesla stock prediction.
हाँ, स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन. ना टाइटैनिक नहीं दर्शन, टाइटैनिक नहीं. It was yeah, I will give the topics ना. Stock price prediction, it was stock price prediction. Okay, और दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट जो आपका था याद है, remember that flood prediction, that is not a single project. ओके उसमें हम लोगों ने कंपेयर किया है डिसीजन ट्री को, रैंडम फॉरेस्ट को और के नियरेस्ट नेबर को हम लोगों ने कंपेयर किया था, रिमेंबर? सो द सेकंड प्रोजेक्ट वाज बेसिकली फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन, फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन, दैट वाज द सेकंड प्रोजेक्ट। ओके एक्स्ट्रा, बहुत एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी प्रोजेक्ट है वो, केरला का रियल टाइम डेटा है, केरला जो है ना स्टेट, केरला स्टेट का रियल टाइम डेटा है, तो उसको कोई छोटा मोटा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है वो, ठीक है? उसमें डेटा को हम लोगों ने स्केलिंग करना सीखा, डेटा को लेबल एनकोड करना सीखा था, और हम लोगों ने एल्गोरिथम को कंपेयर किया था, वेयर वी सॉ दैट रैंडम फॉरेस्ट इज गिविंग द बेस्ट एक्यूरेसी कंपेयर टू द अदर टू एल्गोरिथम्स।
सर
Okay.
कौन सा सर? वो केरला फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन ना?
ये केरला फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन, यस फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन। वो
केरला
कोई छोटा मोटा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं था, नो इट्स अ वेरी एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी थिंग। ओके सो दिस दोस टू, ठीक है? तो अभी तक फिलहाल हम लोगों का 2 प्रोजेक्ट हुआ है, ठीक है? मैं एक एक्सेल शीट बना लेता हूँ आप लोगों का।
हाँ सर, टॉपिक्स का नाम रहेगा तो सर वो सही रहेगा।
बेटर, मैं आप लोगों को ये शेयर कर दूंगा बेसिकली, ठीक है?
यस सर।
सो DS and ML projects. Okay, DS and ML projects. So here okay, so the first project was I think stock price prediction, na? Stock price
पहले
prediction,
फ्लड हुआ था, पहले तो उससे पहले फ्लड हुआ था, तो
flood prediction, flood prediction, flood prediction।
केरला फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन।
तो केरला फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन हम लोग ऐसा नाम नहीं देंगे, बिकॉज सेम मॉडल को अगर किसी और के ऊपर यूज करना है देन व्हाट, सेम मॉडल को अगर कोई और स्टेट के डेटा के ऊपर यूज करना है देन व्हाट,
तो सर फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन, फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन,
फ्लड फोरकास्टिंग, व्हाट डू यू से, फ्लड फोरकास्टिंग?
यस सर, यस।
ओके या नेक्स्ट हमारा क्या था?
स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन।
स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, तो इसका एक अद्भुत टाइटल अगर हम लोग ले सकें तो स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन ना, स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक मार्केट प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक मार्केट प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक प्राइस, स्टॉक मार्केट प्रेडिक्शन, या स्टॉक प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, स्टॉक प्राइस prediction, okay? Stock market price, stock price prediction is stock market price prediction, stock price prediction, okay? Stock price,
मार्केट प्राइस, स्टॉक मार्केट प्राइस ही होगा शायद।
stock market, yeah, that is going to be good. Stock market price prediction, okay? Stock market price prediction, okay? now ये हमारा हो गया 2। थर्ड, वेदर फोरकास्टिंग कैसा रहेगा? वेदर फोरकास्टिंग, वेदर फोरकास्टिंग, वेदर फोरकास्टिंग, weather forecasting, weather forecasting, right? Third is going to be weather forecasting, okay? Weather forecasting, weather forecasting. Now this weather forecasting, this particular weather forecasting, ये जो project है, ये basically ये भी एक extraordinary project है. It's a very excellent project. Getting the point? It's a very excellent project, I'm telling you, right? आप कोई भी वेदर का डेटा सेट आप ले सकते हो. You can take the any of the data set. Any of the data set you can take. Any of the data set you can take basically, right? And from this data set, okay, we are basically going to take some temperature data set, means weather का forecasting का ही basically data set है. ठीक है, ये आप Kaggle से भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. ठीक है, just a second, I'm getting a call.
वेदर प्रिडिक्शन भी रख सकते हैं ना, वेदर प्रिडिक्शन.
हाँ बोलिए दर्शन, बोलिए.
सर हम वेदर प्रिडिक्शन भी रख सकते हैं ना, वेदर प्रिडिक्शन.
हाँ, बेसिकली वेदर प्रेडिक्शन हम लोग करेंगे इसके ऊपर. ठीक है, यहाँ पर वेदर प्रेडिक्शन करेंगे. मैं आपको एक काम करूंगा, मैं आप लोगों को अभी एक डेटा सेट दिखाऊंगा. ठीक है, जस्ट नाउ आई विल शो यू वन डेटा सेट. ओके, गेटिंग द पॉइंट. Okay, that data set I will show it to you. After taking the data set, just have a look at the data set, right? Then I will explain the project. Okay, then I will explain the project. This is a marvelous project, I'm telling you. ठीक है, जैसे फ्लड प्रेडिक्शन था वो भी एक बहुत ही एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी प्रोजेक्ट था. स्टॉक मार्केट प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन, ये भी देखिए, कोई भी प्रेडिक्शन जो है प्रोजेक्ट में करवा रहा हूं, आप देखिए इट्स अ ट्रेंडिंग वन. मींस आपका रियल लाइफ, यू विल गेट द एप्लीकेशन इन द रियल लाइफ. आई एम टेलिंग यू, you will get the application, you will find the application in the real life. It's not like that like predicting cat and dog. It's not like that. I will never show you that particular project, predicting cats and dogs. It's not like that. No, I will never show you that project, never. Okay, predicting whether this picture is of Sachin Tendulkar or this picture is of Saurav Ganguly. That is also about the face detection basically. Okay, that is a trending one, but for that we need to have a very vast concept of deep learning. Otherwise that particular project will not be what to say, it will not be an asset. Okay, it will not going to be an asset. Means you won't be able to justify, you won't be able to justify yourself. Okay, getting the point. You won't be able to justify, means why you are doing that face recognition and all that thing. For that you require some good experience with machine learning. After that someday you learn deep learning. Okay, after going through deep learning, then you basically go to some. Okay, so I have one data set. I'm showing you one data set. Okay, मेरे पास already एक data set था. Wait. प्लीज थोड़ा टाइम दीजिए मुझको. आई हैव वन डेटा सेट. आई हैव वन डेटा सेट. यार आई हैव वन डेटा सेट. वेट, स्टार्टिंग से मुझे देखने दीजिए. केरला का तो ऑलरेडी है, स्टॉक मार्केट का ऑलरेडी है, बाइक, बाइनरी, दिल्ली. अच्छा, डायबिटीज प्रेडिक्शन वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डू. सोल्ड, वेट. weather, WhatsApp chat analysis नहीं है. टेम्परेचर यहाँ पर है, देखिए टेम्स weather forecasting. Okay, the data set is actually not present over here. Okay, I need to download this data set basically. ओके आई नीड टू डाउनलोड द डेटा सेट, सो टेम्प्स को डिलीट कर देते हैं, ठीक है। चलिए व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू डाउनलोड द डेटा सेट। Weather forecasting, again getting the culprit. Okay, temperature forecasting. Good. Weather forecasting channel. Weather forecasting challenge. Wait, let me see this one. Okay. यार ये डेटा सेट था मेरे पास, ठीक है, ये डेटा सेट बेसिकली मेरे पास था। रुकिए मुझे देखने दीजिए, कहीं ना कहीं मैंने डेटा सेट को रखा है जरूर। अच्छा टेम्स था ना, ts.csv, टेम्स.csv अगर मैं करता हूं तो क्या मिलता है मुझे? फाइल का नाम से चेक करते हैं बेसिकली, लेट्स सी। यहाँ पर शायद हमारे पास एक डेटा सेट अवेलेबल है शायद, देखिए हाँ, दिस इज द डेटा सेट दैट आई वांटेड। Yeah, see, I will download this data set. Temps. Temps. Copy this. C drive. Users. User. Paste it over here. Okay. Now I'll open this temps.csv. So here we have the look at this data set. Basically, this data set tells that the first one is actually it is telling about the data set. ये बोल रहा है हमारा डेटा सेट के बारे में। तो सबसे पहले क्या बोल रहा है, सबसे पहले आई थिंक ये बोल रहा है हमारा ईयर के बारे में बोल रहा है, राइट? ईयर के बारे में बोल रहा है। नेक्स्ट इट्स टेलिंग अस अबाउट द मंथ of the year, then it's telling the number of days of the year, then it's telling the week, and then temperature 2 is _2 is the max temperature 2 day prior। ठीक है, ये डेटा सेट के साथ मैंने काम किया था, ये भी रियल एक डेटा सेट है, सिएटल का डेटा सेट है ये, सिएटल। ओके, सो ये एक डेटा सेट है 2 days प्रायर, मैक्स टेम्परेचर 2 days प्रायर, एंड नेक्स्ट वी हैव temp 1 that is the max temperature 1 day prior, and average we have the average temperature, and actual is basically what? Actual is the max temperature measurement, maximum temperature measurement, and then we have friend, ये है हमारा friend's prediction, it is actually a random number below 20। okay, random number, okay, between 20 average, and 20 अगर से ज्यादा होता है तो above the average, if it is below 20 then it's below the average, and if it is above 20 number then it is above the average। okay, just have a look at this data set, just have a look at this data set, and how many it contains lots of rows, so just have a look at this data set, बहुत ही current ही data set है, current data set, just have a look।
M2 क्या बोले? मैक्स टेम्परेचर 2 days प्रायर, मतलब 2 दिन का 2 days
Yes.
छोड़ के मैक्स टेम्परेचर प्रेडिक्ट
Yes.
मतलब निकाला है।
Yes, exactly।
और सर एक्चुअल क्या है मैक्स टेम्परेचर, मतलब
Max.
उस पर्टिकुलर डे का उस पर्टिकुलर मंथ का फ्राइडे का मैक्स टेम्परेचर क्या था?
Exactly. Actual temperature is the max temperature measurement of that particular day.
और सर ये फ्रेंड 2961 ये वाला नहीं समझे हम, मतलब
सिंपल सा ये फ्रेंड का प्रेडिक्शन दिया हुआ है, कोई एक फ्रेंड प्रेडिक्शन किया था, उसका प्रेडिक्शन वैल्यू एक दिया हुआ है, ठीक
ओ
है।
अच्छा
ये कॉलम,
अच्छा
तो ये कॉलम को,
अच्छा
हाँ, ये कॉलम को आप चाहो तो रख भी सकते हो, कॉलम को रिमूव भी कर सकते हो, इससे हमारा कुछ आता जाता नहीं है, क्योंकि वी नो दैट आवर टारगेट कॉलम इज एक्चुअल कॉलम। एक्चुअल
एक्चुअल हम
कॉलम
लोग को मैक्स टेम्परेचर प्रेडिक्ट करना है।
दैट्स इट, एक्चुअल कॉलम, दैट एक्चुअल कॉलम इज बेसिकली आवर टारगेट कॉलम, दैट्स इट।
सर ये तो एक पर्टिकुलर मतलब कोई कंट्री या स्टेट का ऐसा कुछ होगा, बिकॉज यहाँ पे तो फ्राइडे सैटरडे संडे मतलब ये दिया हुआ है कि मतलब क्या था।
ये डेटा सेट अगर आप एक लेकर किसी कंट्री का है, जैसे सिएटल का है, तो या सो व्हेनेवर यू विल गो फॉर अ डेटा सेट ना, मींस तो वो डेटा सेट आप वर्ल्ड का डेटा सेट नहीं, एक पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन का डेटा सेट आप ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि देखिएगा यहाँ पर भी कोई भी प्रेडिक्शन वगैरह होता है तो देखिएगा सब अलग अलग जगहों का होता है, ठीक है। हो सकता है यहाँ पर बारिश आज होने वाला है, हो सकता है जमशेदपुर में बारिश नहीं होगा, ठीक है। तो उस पर्टिकुलरली उस पार्ट को पकड़ के किया जाता है बेसिकली।
और सर यहाँ पे तो ईयर और मंथ सेम है, मतलब फर्स्ट मतलब जनवरी मंथ ऑफ 2019, मतलब खाली एक ही मंथ का और एक ही ईयर का है बेसिकली।
हाँ, तो एक ही, अदरवाइज एक ही ईयर का ही तो हम लोग प्रेडिक्शन बेसिकली लेके करेंगे, ठीक है, क्योंकि लास्ट बहुत सारा ईयर का लेंगे तो वो तो हमारा किसी काम का नहीं रहेगा ना।
नहीं सर, पर
हम
मंथ तो डिफरेंट हो सकता है, जैसे यहाँ पे तो हम लोग खाली जनवरी मंथ का डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डे का लिए हैं, पर मंथ तो
हाँ
डिफरेंट हो ही सकता है।
हाँ, तो मैं बताता हूँ आपको बेसिकली। मंथ आप डिफरेंट करके क्या करोगे, अभी आप वेदर जो है ना, वेदर को आप जाकर चेक करिए, ठीक है, वेदर को चेक करिए। वेदर प्रेडिक्शन में बेसिकली वो आपको क्या दे रहा होगा, वो वेदर प्रेडिक्शन में आपको दे रहा होगा, सपोज द सिटी कोलकाता, वो नेक्स्ट 1 वीक का दे रहा होगा, वो देखिए आपको खोज कर वो देखिएगा, आप बोलिएगा कि व्हाट विल बी द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई, वो देगा? अभी वो नहीं देगा।
अच्छा समझ गए सर।
Because it is actually giving the prediction for that month with the past data that is it is receiving, वो past data से ही तो learn कर रहा है, getting the point?
यस सर समझ गए।
Okay, so it's actually receiving the data basically, okay, it is receiving the data from the previous the days, okay, getting the point? So this is basically the concept. If you try to find out, you will not get, for the month of June or July something like that. Yes, you will get 10 days 15 days prior, you will get. Okay, so this is actually a very important, this is a very important means what to say topic, and this is not a very small project, okay, this is a very extraordinary project basically, I'm telling you, okay, this is basically a extraordinary project. So okay, I'm doing one thing, I'm telling you one thing, okay, just try to concentrate, basically what I'm doing over here or what I have done over there. Just try to concentrate basically, okay, just try to concentrate, because this particular what to say weather prediction, this particular weather prediction is actually related to it, since see, it's data from the real life, okay, it's a data from the real life. So definitely the output must be validated, the output must be a valid output, right? It must be a valid output, okay, ये एक valid output होना चाहिए, right? Otherwise it's not going to make any sense, yes or no? It's not going to make any sense. Am I right or wrong? Temperature prediction, weather prediction, ऐसा लगता है that it's yeah, oh, not so difficult, okay, we will do it basically, but it's not like that, okay, it's not like that. So shall I start? Okay, So this is going to be the most important task. So let's move ahead. Okay, let's move ahead and just try to pay attention. See, temps.csv, temps.csv. Just have a look at this. I will take a break of 1 minute just for drinking water. Not 1 minute also. I will just take 30 seconds time. Okay, just have a look at this. Hello, yeah, I'm back. Have a look. Yeah, I've loaded the data set. I've loaded the data set and just have a look with features dot head. So the data set is read. Now we will prepare the data set. One hot encoding, basically. One hot encoding. You might be wondering, sir, what is one hot encoding? What is one hot encoding? Okay. See, here I will create one more cell. Okay. One hot encoding. I will cut this. I will paste it over here. And I pass features.
The categorical features को तो सर वो प्री प्रोसेस करने में काम आता है ना शायद.
Exactly. But pre-processing categorical features and all those things, ये थोड़ा सा कैसा हाईली टेक्निकल टर्म लगता है. बहुत लोग समझ भी पाएंगे, नहीं भी समझ पाएंगे. ठीक है, इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पर डायरेक्टली एग्जांपल्स दिखा दिया. सी, मैंने एग्जांपल दिखा दिया. If I go for one hot encoding, so there is one method called in pandas called get underscore dummies. Get underscore dummies. I have passed the features and I've stored inside the feature variable itself. So see what's happening. Year, month, जैसा था वैसे ही है. Year, month, day, temperature 2, temperature 1, average, actual, friends. But here we have the month, week. See, week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Friday, then we have Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, yeah. So whenever जैसे देखिएगा 2019 मंथ 1 डे 1 वीक था आपका फ्राइडे, तो फ्राइडे के लिए वैल्यू 1 होगा और बाकी के लिए देखिएगा सबके लिए 0 होगा। सेकंड वाला देखिएगा क्या था, सैटरडे था, सैटरडे, तो ये सैटरडे के लिए देखिएगा क्या होना चाहिए, सैटरडे के लिए आपका हो जाना चाहिए 1, बाकी सबके लिए 9 हो जाना चाहिए, 0 हो जाना चाहिए। ओके, सिमिलरली थर्ड वैल्यू संडे के लिए 1 था, तो देखिए वीक संडे पे 1 होगा, बाकी सबके लिए 0 हो जाएगा। गेटिंग द पॉइंट। द नेक्स्ट वाज मंडे, सो मंडे के लिए 1 होगा, बाकी सबके लिए 0। गेटिंग द पॉइंट। सो दिस इज एक्चुअली व्हाट वी कॉल्ड एज वन हॉट एन्कोडिंग। व्हाट वन हॉट एन्कोडिंग। क्लियर टू एवरीवन? रोहित, getting the point? Rohit, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Clear now? Yeah. So this is basically what we call as one hot encoding. Now the data preparation, we are extracting the features and the labels. Extracting the features and the labels. So labels, I have taken the actual column, this is the target, and all the columns I have taken on the features variable except the actual one, converted into list, or you can directly take it with the help of iloc also you can take it directly. Okay, now converted the whole into array. After converting this into array, because I told machine learning algorithm understands only one thing, and what is that thing? Array. Okay, then splitted the data set into train and test, and here the train test split is around 25 and 75 for the training and 25 for the testing. After running this example, I can see that the train feature is actually 261 and 14, and the train this is the target or the label for this particular train feature. This is the test feature, and this is the target for the test feature. Then what is the shape of the data? Okay, 348, 14 columns, 348 rows and 14 columns. So hope so there is no problem with this particular code. The code which is on line number 5 and line number 6. Just have a look.
No, sir.
No problem. Simple. These are very simple. Very simple. You will be able to do. Okay, now just have a look. Here I've done something extra. Okay. Years of data in the training set and the years of data in the test set. And 0.2 years of data in the test set. I've divided it by 365. Okay, so this is also a part of analysis. This is also a part of analysis. Okay, part of analysis.
Basically, sir, वो years कितना था उसको sir divide किया.
Exactly. This is also a part of analysis. Okay, that's it. Train and test set. Okay, train and test set. Now, the most important features. Okay, so most important features. Let me run this. Okay, I'm getting some value error. Yeah, value error, they're telling that WS1 is not in the list. Okay, WS1 is not in the list basically. So temperature 1, then average, then temperature 1, then average, then actual and friend. Wait, temperature 1, average, temp 2, friend, year. I don't recall but from where this WS1 came. I think it was on the old data. The old data on this. Yeah. Okay, important trend. Yes.
सर फ्रेंड का तो कुछ काम नहीं, वो तो प्रेडिक्शन है दूसरा का, तो वो भी तो हम लोग नहीं ले सकते हैं।
नहीं ले सकते हैं। हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर देखा है टोटल कुछ पैरामीटर्स को लेकर कि हाउ मेनी मींस व्हाट इज एक्चुअली द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ दोस फीचर्स, आर बेसिकली इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ दिस फीचर्स। ठीक है, फ्रेंड का अगर कोई काम नहीं है तो आपको लगता है कि अगर कोई काम नहीं तो आप इसको सिंपली ड्रॉप कर सकते हैं। इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, बट फ्रेंड हैज एक्चुअली गिवन अ प्रेडिक्शन. Friend has basically given a prediction. Okay, so I want to see what is actually the importance of these features. Okay, what is the importance of these features? Importance of these features, right? So here I have taken temp 1, then I have taken average, then I have taken temp 2, and I have taken friend, and I have taken year. So I have taken temp1, temp2, average and friend. अगर इसको मैं remove कर देता हूँ, if I remove the friend right now, so I am having only year which is 29 continuous, and I am having only one thing, that is temp2, temp1 and average. I am having only 3 columns for feature importance, for feature calculation. I am only having 3 columns, right? Because actual is the target, and I am dropping friend, and year is basically constant, that is 2019 data. So temp underscore 2, temp underscore 1 and average. I'm having only 3 columns. Okay, so here I am doing with friend. You can just drop this friend and you can see whether the accuracy is getting increased or not in the interval time. Getting the point?
Okay, sir.
But I have considered friend because otherwise I will have only temp1, average and temp2. That's it. Temp1, average and temp2. For that I'm considering this friend. Okay, so the shape is also 261 and 87. Now we are using the most important features. So inside the train, important features are basically I've considered temp1, average, temp2, friends and year. Okay, so these are basically my important features. So I'm taking all the important features from the train and I'm taking all the important features from the test. Okay, that's it. And this is actually the feature list. This is
So एक बार
basically the
scroll
total.
up करिए.
Yes, please have a look.
सर ये important underscore indices में क्या हो रहा है?
ओके, प्रिंट करके देख लेते हैं इसको, आप इसको बेहतर समझिएगा इंपॉर्टेंट इंडिसेस के अंदर क्या हो रहा है. जस्ट पेस्ट दिस, सी फॉर एवरी 1 2 3 4 5, so 4 indices are allocated to those 4 important features. Getting the point? Five indices are basically added to or allocated to those important features. Getting? No problem?
No,
Hello?
sir.
No problem.
No, sir.
No? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to print that. I've taken all the features. Now I've applied the random forest over here. You can apply decision tree, but since I know that random, this is actually a regression problem. I know that random forest is going to give a high accuracy compared to decision tree. So that's why I've taken this. Okay. So I've taken the random forest regression. I've created the model. This is a regression partner. This is a regression part. Okay, the regression part. So these are actually the parameters inside.
What is p print?
P print actually prints the parameters. Okay, the parameters that are basically that algorithm is using in order to train itself. Okay, so you can see the parameters. Okay, parameters.
Oh, अच्छा,
See,
got it, sir. ठीक है.
but this, if you say that, sir, if I don't write this, will it make an issue or will it help? Means affect my algorithm? Never, it will affect your algorithm. These are the parameters for printing.
So it is just for seeing, मतलब visualizing.
Yeah, the external parameters, or sorry, the internal parameters basically.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is basically the concept. Okay, so hope so there is no issue with this. Okay, that's it. Now, okay. So this is basically the thing. Now, it will actually provide a statistical distribution of the list of hyperparameters. What are the hyperparameters? Hyperparameters are the best models, the best parameters, the best parameters or the best features which can basically improve our model basically. Getting the point?
Sir, ये randomized search CV basically hyperparameter tuning, ना?
Yes, it is actually, this is designed random search CV. This is the model. Basically, this is going to find out the most fruitful features or hyperparameters from the features which are available to us, which are available to us. Getting the point? So this is actually the package that is designed to do so. Clear? समझ में आ रहा है क्या कर रहा हूं मैं?
ये सपोज सर यहाँ पे जैसे एक्चुअली मींस ये एक्चुअली हाइपर पैरामीटर लाइक रैंडमाइज सर्च एक्चुअली मींस हम एक बार किए थे लाइक मेरा लैपटॉप में, बट एक्चुअली जब किए थे बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्रीड सर्च ये मतलब बहुत ज्यादा पावरफुल है, तो मेरा लाइक लैपटॉप हैंग हो गया था और वो रन भी नहीं कर रहा था।
यस यस, क्योंकि बहुत सारा इटरेशन घूम रहा है ना यहाँ पर। देखिए यहाँ पर कितना सारा इटरेशन घूम रहा है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 200 एंड स्टॉपिंग टिल 2000। होगा, प्रॉब्लम तो होगा ही।
तो सर फिर ये करने का बिकॉज लाइक जिसका तो अब वो लैपटॉप पावरफुल नहीं है तो मींस वो तो फिर कर नहीं पाएगा ये, तो फिर ये करने का तो सर
नहीं, तो अगर आप चाहो तो नहीं, देखिए तो दैट डजंट मीन कि मेरे पास अगर लैपटॉप नहीं है, ठीक है, तो मैं इस पार्ट को एलिमिनेट कर दूं। नो, अगर मैं ऐसा बोलूं कि आप लोग काम कीजिए, आप लोग के पास तो वैसा लैपटॉप नहीं है तो इसको आप छोड़ दीजिए, तो विल इट बी अ जस्टिफाइड आंसर? बोलिए। ठीक है, अभी आप सीख रहे हो, अरे कभी तो आप जाकर कभी 1 साल बाद तो इंडस्ट्री में जाओगे, ठीक है, तो वहां पर तो एक वर्क स्टेशन पे काम करोगे। यस और नो?
यस सर।
हाँ, वहां पर तो एक वर्क स्टेशन पे काम कीजिएगा, तो वहां पर एटलीस्ट मेरे को याद कर लीजिएगा दैट यस, ठीक है, सर ने बताया था एटलीस्ट, ठीक है, एटलीस्ट याद कर सके। अगर याद कर सके तो ठीक है, तो याद कर लीजिए सर ने बताया, ठीक है, तो याद है हमको, तो हम इस पे काम करें। ऐसा नहीं बोलेगा कि नो आई डोंट नो दिस, बोलेगा नहीं मुझे मालूम है चीज क्या है, ठीक है, आप मुझे टास्क दो, गिव मी द वर्क, ओके लेट मी सी, ओके हाउ कैन आई मींस डील विद दैट प्रॉब्लम। समझ में आ रहा है? मींस यू आर नॉट न्यू टू द थिंग। कभी आप ऐसा बोल नहीं सकोगे नो आई डोंट नो दिस, वी डोंट नो दिस, नहीं, आपको पता है, ठीक है। और कोई भी देखिएगा कोड अपना दिमाग में नहीं रखता है बेसिकली, वी हैव टू एक्सप्लोर दोस कोड्स। यस और नो दर्शन? ठीक है, तो आई एम गिविंग यू ईच एंड एवरी नॉलेज, मेरे पास जितना नॉलेज है सब हम शेयर कर दे रहे हैं आप लोगों से, सब हम शेयर कर दे रहे हैं, ठीक है। वन डे व्हेन यू विल गो टू द इंडस्ट्री, व्हेन यू विल गो टू सम ऑटोमेटेड इंडस्ट्री, ओके, वहां पर एक एक पैकेज देखिएगा 10 लाख 15 लाख होता है पर एनम, राइट। सो दैट डे यू नीड दिस, उनके पास वो सिस्टम भी है, उनके पास वो डेटा भी है, और इसका जरूरत पड़ेगा ही पड़ेगा, तो आप जान लो चीजों को, ठीक है, आप जान लीजिए चीजों को, ठीक है। तो फिलहाल मैं अभी यहां तक रखता हूं, ठीक है, नहीं तो बहुत ज्यादा हेक्टिक हो जाएगा, राइट। अभी यहां तक रखता हूं, पहले मुझे अटेंडेंस लेने दीजिए, ठीक है, अभी हमारे पास तो सेकंड हाफ तो है ही, पहले हमको अटेंडेंस लेने दीजिए। अनुषा बेरा, अनुषा बेरा, अनुषा बेरा, जायद सिद्दीकी, जायद सिद्दीकी, श्रेष्ठा पोद्दार,
Present, sir.
सृष्टि बोस,
Present, sir.
आदित्य नारायण दास इज प्रेजेंट, भावातोष सरकार इज प्रेजेंट, बुधा इज प्रेजेंट, देवज्योति शाह इज also present, Depopam Das is also present, Deepi is also present, Kaushik Devnath,
Present, sir.
Kaushik Devnath is present, Pratik Seth, Pratik Seth, Pratik Seth absent, अच्छा, Pratiksha Ghosh is present, Pratyay present, Prayas present, Rishin Haldar is also present, Rohish Ray present, Rohish Ray আছে, Rohish Ray, Rohish Ray
Present. Yes, sir, present.
Rupam present আছে, Sanchita Dotto present, Saptosri Sen, Saptosri Sen, Saptosri Sen नहीं, Shayan Chakraborty, Shayan Chakraborty
Present, sir. Present.
Jessica present, Shubham Chaudhary present, Suman Thakur, Suman Thakur, Suman Thakur सुमन ठाकुर एब्सेंट। ओके, त्रिदीप्तो 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 इज प्रेजेंट, वेरी गुड। अच्छा, आकाश इज प्रेजेंट। ओके, आनंद मोहन झा या प्रेजेंट। अंगना दास
Present.
ओके, अनिकेत मिश्रा प्रेजेंट है। अरिंदम सिंह, औरित्र घोष प्रेजेंट।
Yes, sir.
अरविंद कुमार मिश्रा प्रेजेंट। आयुष मिलन प्रेजेंट। बिलाल अहमद प्रेजेंट। दर्शन इज प्रेजेंट।
Yes, sir. Present.
ओके, प्रेजेंट। ओके, गार्गी देवनाथ
Present.
प्रेजेंट। प्रेजेंट। अच्छा, प्लीज म्यूट करो, प्लीज। मेघा प्रेजेंट।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
मोहित আছে या मोहित पॉल, मोहित साहल, सॉरी मोहित साहल
जीत साह दिलन।
अजित साह दे दीजिए। मोहित साहल नहीं, निखिल पंकज घोष प्रेजेंट। प्रभात कुमार
सर पंकज घोष
प्रेजेंट।
प्रभात कुमार प्रेजेंट सर। प्रेजेंट
ओके,
सर।
राकेश या ओके राकेश रोशन इज प्रेजेंट। रेशमी प्रेजेंट। रोहित प्रेजेंट। अच्छा, रौनक प्रामाणिक तो नहीं है। अच्छा, संजना रानी है। संजना रानी। सप्तश्री कुंडू। अच्छा, सप्तश्री रॉय नहीं है। रेशमी प्रेजेंट आछो। शायन बाग प्रेजेंट आछे। शाइनी घोष
Yes, sir. Sandbag present.
प्रेजेंट। श्रेय कुमार बर्नवाल
Sir, Sandbag present. Shrey Kumar
ये
Barnwal present.
ओके श्रेय कुमार बर्नवाल प्रेजेंट। सिमरन कुमारी प्रेजेंट। सोहम भट्टाचार्य तो स्नेहा गोस्वामी
Yes, sir. Present.
प्रेजेंट। ओके, सोती सामंत
Present, sir.
प्रेजेंट। अच्छा, सौरभ बाग तो एब्सेंट আছে। शुभाशीष पॉल प्रेजेंट। सुधजित दे एब्सेंट। सुमित कुमार। सूरज माइती।
Yes, sir. Suraj Maiti.
ओके, वरदान सासोत
प्रेजेंट सर।
प्रेजेंट। ओके, चलो अभी कोई बाकी है? बोलिए, कौन बाकी है बोलिए।
Sir, Sandbag दिए थे।
सायन बाग दाड़ा। शेफालिका, यू आर प्रेजेंट। शेफालिका, आई सॉ योर नेम, यू आर प्रेजेंट। शानबाग तुम्ही प्रेजेंट आছো।
ओके सर।
गार्गी देवना तुम्ही प्रेजेंट आছো। गार्गी।
Okay, sir.
संजना रानी, यू आर आल्सो प्रेजेंट। एनीबॉडी
স্যার
एल्स?
ভৌত সরকার ইয়েস্টারডে সেকেন্ড হাফ প্রেজেন্ট ছিলাম স্যার।
প্রেজেন্ট আছো ভাবতোষ, তুমি সব দিনই প্রেজেন্ট আছো, চিন্তা নেই, সব দিন প্রেজেন্ট আছো। ওকে, चिंता नहीं। एनीबॉडी एल्स? अच्छा, प्रतीक सेठ प्रेजेंट है। प्रतीक सेठ, रुकिए, उसका माइक खराब है। प्रतीक सेठ को प्रेजेंट करते हैं, रुकिए। प्रतीक सेठ प्रेजेंट। अच्छा, प्रतीक सेठ को बोल दीजिएगा दैट ही इज प्रेजेंट है। ओके, चलो अटेंडेंस हमारा यहाँ पर आज हो गया कंप्लीट। सो बेसिकली ये है हमारा रैंडमाइज्ड सर्च विद क्रॉस वैलिडेशन। तो आज हम लोग यहीं तक रख रहे हैं फिलहाल फॉर दिस फर्स्ट हाफ, ठीक है। सेकंड हाफ डायरेक्टली हम लोग 2 बजे से स्टार्ट कर देंगे, डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम 2, राइट, गेटिंग द पॉइंट। विल स्टार्ट इट फ्रॉम 2, ठीक है। आई थिंक इतना काफी है, क्या बोलते हैं अभी के लिए फिलहाल?
ओके सर।
आई थिंक इनफ ना रोहित, दर्शन, अभी के लिए इतना काफी है ना?
यस सर।
ओके, सो अभी फिलहाल इतना रखते हैं। ओके, चलिए।
हेलो सर।
हाँ, क्या चाहिए?
हेलो।
यस
Sir, I am Arindam Singh. I am disconnected a few moments ago.
Wait, Orindam, wait. Give me 1 minute. Wait. Okay, Orindam Singh. Orindam Singh. Orindam. Orindam Singh, present. Okay, chalo, present.
Okay, sir.
Okay. শুভাশিস পল অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স দিয়ে দিয়েছি শুভাশিস পল অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স তোমার হয়ে গেছে, প্রেজেন্ট আছো তুমি, আমি দেখেছিলাম তোমার নাম।
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, who is this? Shubham Chaudhary, present, Shubham. Shubham Chaudhary, present. Present. Don't worry, present. Okay, चलो अभी के लिए इतना ही रहेगा।
Sir, Hello. 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 Hello.